Greetings, everyone. I'm here to talk a little bit about art, who I am, and what it is I do. The name is Kay. I'm an artist, of course. I've been doing this for years, all types of art, from drawing to painting to sculpting to working in clay to airbrush to just basically everything, messing around with the gadgets and gadgets around the house and gluing stuff together, making things. So I've always been hands-on with art, doing all kind of fun stuff. I went to art school. I started art school back in 2000. I started art school in 2000. This piece that you see in front of you right now is a piece from 2000 that I did when I first attended school. What we had to do back then was break down basically an ad in a magazine. So all the students in the class had to pick something from a magazine and then kind of break down all the shapes and sizes that were in that magazine. So what I did was I decided to do a Newport cigarette box. There is the ad for the Newport box that I used. Actually, that is the exact paper that I ripped out of the magazine. So this ad is actually very old. So that's what I used. And what we had to do was draw a design for that. And so I started to, I'm not even sure what was I doing? Did it go that way? I believe the other way. Okay, I think that was it there. So, but yes, that's what I drew. These are some of the designs that I came up with. And then this, what you see in front of you, is the finished piece that I created. Now, when I started art school, I was going to art school for computer animation at that time. And I went through for a short while and realized, I don't know, I wasn't filling that course. And also back then, and this is just me speaking, the three hot states back then for that category for computer animation, you either had to be in New York, Florida, or California in order to really, kick off for doing computer animation. So again, I was in that course for a short moment. I then switched over to graphic design. So during that time, same school, I switched over to graphic design. Let me show you another piece that I did. Again, same school, we had to do one of our projects. We had to pick out a drawing or an image, and then we had to recreate that. That is the image there that I chose, cut that out of a magazine, of course. That's the image that I chose. This is what I drew. So that is the piece there that I drew from that image. Again, this was done back in 2000. Actually, let me speed it up. This one was 2001. Again, same school, 2001. That's the piece that I did. Showing another piece here. And it was pretty much the same thing. We had to pick an image from either a magazine or a black and white image. And I stuck with the same thing. It's just, different image here, black and white. I don't know if you can see that with the glare on the camera there. That's what I chose. Now that right there, let me just say this. It's a lot of detail. It's a lot of dark areas in this picture. So of course, when I did this, I don't know, I probably didn't think it through really. It's a lot of shading. I had to do a lot of shading. Uh, to let you know, yes, I am a detailed artist, so I do get very detailed in my work, always have been, and I still am. So I get very detailed. That is a piece that I chose. This is what I drew. This piece again was probably, I think this was back in 2000. So the other piece I showed was 2001. I'm going back. This is the piece from 2000. Now, I see lots of mistakes in this. So again, this was 2000. The head is like, I don't know, it's like somebody shrunk his head down. So the head is really small on this, but yes, it is full of detail. And I recall making this. I really enjoyed this piece. I really enjoyed making it. It was a lot of work, but yeah, a lot of shading. I wish I had made the head a lot bigger than what it was, because it just, I mean, the piece is really nice, but the head needs work. So yeah. So again, that was from the same school. What I did later on was I actually ended up leaving that school and I attended another art school. But before I get into that, let's show another piece from the same art school before I left and attended the second art school. Now I'm just showing these pieces. I really don't remember what the assignment was for this piece, but let me explain what's going on here. You've got the mother here holding the baby. You can kind of see a face image up there in the corner. If you look close, you see an image of a face there. You've got water and all on the right hand side with the sun or the moon up in the right corner. What I do recall with this piece is that you flip it over, and on the left side there, you see the water in the pond and the clouds up here up top. The water, it's like the beach and all coming down. So I kind of made it like two different pieces. So you can flip it back and look at it, and then reverse it again and look at it from the other end. Now, as I said, I actually ended up leaving that school and I attended another school for graphic design. Now, this is a piece that I did. And I have to say this, I got to put that out. I have to put this out there because there are some of us out there, artists, when we're young, we're doing our artwork and we're pretty cocky. And this assignment here, let me just say this. When I did this assignment, I'm going to say I was one of those artists who really like, I thought, my work was all that, you couldn't tell me anything. My work was, it was hot. And I remember this assignment here when I did this one here, and I took it to class, and the teacher would actually, you take time, to have everybody break out the piece that they did to show their piece. And again, I came in, I'm like, all right, I got this. It's going to be one of the best pieces in the class. And I, came time for me to show my piece, and I did that. And I showed my piece. And then I recalled there was a young female in my class, and she showed her piece. And wow, it just like, it blew my mind, like how it was so nice. I mean, in my opinion, the piece that she had blew my art piece here out of the water. It knocked it out. So we still had time to go back and, finish up, do any touch up on our pieces, or if you wanted to try to redo some of the stuff in it, you could do that. So what I did was I took this piece back, redid it. I changed the font, added more shading. I did something with the color. Again, we're talking about 2001, trying to do this work. So I'm trying to remember exactly what it was that I did with this. Redid a lot of stuff on this, changed some of the color on the seal. When I brought this back and it was time for us to show our final project, I presented this. And what happened was that this became one of the best pieces for the quarter. for the school. So yeah, this piece here was one of the best pieces of the quarter. And if I recall, the teacher wrote up here, "Great finish." So yeah, this was turned out to be the best piece of the quarter, and I was pretty proud of that. But that was a lesson learned because it tells you, basically, when you think, your art is all that and you're trying to be cocky, somebody else is much better than you, and they'll come up there and knock your work down. So, yeah, that from that point, that kind of humbled me a lot with my artwork. Later on, I started doing a lot of my stuff on my own. I actually ended up leaving school and started doing a lot of drawings and things at home. So that glare is really killing it. Let me take that out of there. So yes, I ended up leaving this second school because I realized that graphic design wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I ended up leaving that. And if you can see that there we go. So yeah, I left that school, and for a few years, I ended up doing my own thing. And I was home just